Hi everyone, I hope this finds you well. So I was having a chat yesterday with somebody about their performance and about their work and about their life and about the way they think about themselves and the way they produce and the way they deal with things and the way they relate to other people and the way they build and destroy relationships and a whole lot of different issues around their existence. And one of the things came out was, which it often does, the fact that they don't have great self-esteem, they don't have great self-belief, and that in certain situations quite confident and competent and secure, and in other situations completely insecure and paranoid and borderline neurotic. And this person said to me, but you probably wouldn't be able to relate to that because, you know, you do what you do. You've done telly and you do radio and you've written books and you stand in front of audiences and you do stuff like this where you're talking to a camera and you seem to be confident and all of those things. And it's funny because I relayed a story to them, and the story was essentially that, you know, I've done lots of different things over the journey, but this particular one was when I worked on a commercial network here in Melbourne, which was a national show, and I did it for on and off. I did for about 3 years. I don't know how many, but quite a lot of episodes. So for 2 of those 3 years, it was almost weekly and lots of television appearances. And my job was essentially to talk about performance, talk about human behaviour, talk about how we can create positive change in our world and how we can become a better version of us. So just, you know, simple, light stuff, nothing amazing. And it was funny because invariably they would put the caption below me would be Craig Harper, Life Renovator. I run a workshop called Renovate Your Life, and someone in production must have seen that term, and so that was what it was. So my job kind of was to sit on the couch to talk to the two hosts, David and Kim, and to tell a national audience of about, I think it was about 250,000 people at that time in the morning when I was on, basically how to get their shit together, how to be amazing, how to succeed, how to create positive change and do all of that. And the funny thing was, and I related this to the person, was that even though I knew that I had the ability to do that, even though I knew that I had the skills and I had some knowledge, not all knowledge, but some knowledge, so I could pull it off in inverted commas. I don't know how many times I did that, but probably towards 100. But every single time that I did that, every single time before I went on, there would be a sense of me that, or something in me that would feel insecure, that would feel not worthy, not smart enough, not talented enough, not anything enough to be able to sit. I knew intellectually that I could do it. I knew cognitively that I could do it because I'd done it before. But that feeling, maybe it diminished a bit, but it didn't diminish. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I think that that's true for all of us, is that no matter what we do or achieve or create or change or, you know, accomplish on some level in some situations with some tasks or some challenges, there will always be a level of self-doubt and insecurity and overthinking. And I think that to expect that we might one day arrive at some point where we have no issues, where we have zero self-doubt, zero self-loathing, although we do want to get rid of that as much as we can, but you know, where we've got it all together. And I think this is a kind of a delusion, or an illusion I should say, that's created in part through the, you know, the self-help and the personal development industries, that we're going to get to this point. We've got it all together. We don't really have any problems physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, financially, got our shit sorted and life's awesome and we're just awesome in the middle of it. And while I think we will and can, you know, grow and evolve and learn and adapt and become a better version of us, at the same time, I think we are inherently insecure. And I think that while we can become more secure, and we do, there will probably always be, I know even for me, there's still times when I feel like a fraud. I don't even know why I feel like a fraud. I know that I can do what I'm going to do. But there are still times when I feel not good enough, not worthy enough, not clever enough, not something enough. And I'm a 51-year-old bloke who stood in front of probably thousands of audiences, had books published, worked in television, worked in radio, coached lots and lots of people, owned businesses, employed people, you know, done a vast range of things, not because I'm talented necessarily, but because I'm pretty driven. But even in the middle of all of that experience and all of the things that I've done, stuff-ups included, there's still an underlying self-doubt. And I think that that's okay. I think it's okay. And I think, more importantly, it's normal. But the thing that I don't do is I don't let that self-doubt, or I don't let that fear, because all of that stuff, self-doubt, insecurity, overthinking, it's all about fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of looking stupid, fear of being unaccepted, fear of looking like a dumbass in front of people, whatever it is. It's all about fear. But what I know is that despite the fear, despite the feeling, I still intellectually and cognitively understand what's possible. I still know that I can do the job. I might not feel like I'm good enough, but I can look at my history, I can look at my track record and know that, you know what, I've actually produced. Not the best bloke in the world at it, not the worst bloke, I'm not the most gifted this or the most gifted that, but what I can do is I can work hard, I can maximize my talent, I can maximize my opportunities, I can feel insecure, or I can feel full of self-doubt at times, but I can, despite that feeling, I can still tap into what I know. I can still use my skills. And so, and I've said this a few times, you know, if I waited until I had my shit together, whatever that means, if I waited until I'd ticked every box and crossed every T and dotted every I and had it all together, before I coached anyone, or before I encouraged or helped or got involved in anything, before I stood in front of an audience, before I made a video, before I wrote a book, or before I shared an opinion, if I waited until I had it all together, I'd never do anything. I'd never change, well, not that I'd change people, but I'd never influence people in a positive way. I wouldn't have one book printed. I wouldn't have written for any magazines or newspapers. I wouldn't have produced any of these videos. I wouldn't have done any of the things that I've done. And so I want to encourage you today to not wait until you've got it all together, to not be controlled by your fear, to not be managed by your fear, but rather to manage your fear. Sometimes the things that we need to do are not the things that we want to do. Sometimes the best thing to do is the thing that scares us the most, because, you know, it's in the doing of the hard thing, the uncomfortable thing, the scary thing, that we learn, that we grow, that we evolve. And it's okay. It's okay that we stuff up. It's okay that we do great. It's okay that we learn as we go. But, you know, I guess I want you to understand that being fearful, being self-conscious, having low self-esteem, not feeling worthy, or not feeling good enough or anything enough, it's not a you thing, it's an everyone thing. It's an everyone thing. See you next time.